So yeah, we'll keep moving. Then we'll go to a lightweight bout here. Very excited for this one too. We see Michael Chandler, number 7 ranked lightweight, 23 9-0, 11 by KO. On a 2-fight slide, however. Last time out losing by Charles Oliveira. Last time out losing to Charles Oliveira by unanimous decision. Coming up against the number 12 lightweight is Paddy Pimblett, Paddy the Baddy. He's 12-3-0, 6 by KO, 10 by sub. He's on an 8-fight streak, and the last time he, of course, beat Bobby Green by submission. So I see BG, you are back. How's your audio, bro? No?
Right. Yeah, audio's fine. I'm shaking my head to this disgusting internet that I'm paying for. Anyway.
Yeah, it goes like that there. But anyway, give us your thoughts here. Paddy the Baddy versus Michael Chandler.
Oh, potential fight of the night here, gents. This could be one of those fights that will just steal the show. Could take the headlines
fight of the year, maybe, possibly.
I don't know.
Because that's what I did say in the intro. So
I heard that. Yeah, I don't know if I can agree with that. For me, fight of the year would make sense. Is like if both athletes are swinging and make putting on a spectacle where it's like back and forth going at each other the whole time.
You don't think this could be that?
I don't know if Paddy can do that. I know Michael Chandler can put on a performance like that. I don't know if Paddy's got him to do that. Paddy's the kind of athlete that can go in there and beat you, or go in there and play it very safe. And
the next fight could be fight of the year.
We'll get to that. But
yeah,
for this one, I would say potentially fight of the night. It could be really brutal because Michael Chandler goes in there and the style that he has, the hardcore American wrestling, but the power punching and it's and that fight style of like he tries to be competent within the first round or so, but then he throws it out of the water and goes, no, I'm just gonna smash you. And and what you do when someone comes at you with that kind of killer intent of really trying to take your head off, you know what I mean? It's gonna force Paddy to fight back, and I think that in itself will make for a very massive car crash, and we're gonna get a big spectacle. Either Michael Chandler by stoppage, by knocking Paddy Pimblett down and TKOing him, or Paddy goes in there and plays it very safe, and then kind of see it utilizing those tips to get to that third round, and then maybe get Michael Chandler on the ground and submit him like that. Because you can beat Michael Chandler by submitting. He has lost to quite a few submissions in his life before. I'm not too so sure about knockouts. One TKO, couple of TKOs here and there, but can Paddy TKO him? I'm not too sure about it. I do think Paddy can definitely submit him. I think that's going to be his best key to victory there, is to actually weigh out Michael Chandler and not get into a brawl with him and weigh him out into that third round and then look for that submissions in the third round. Yeah, I think Paddy can win like that.
Can Michael Chandler knock Paddy out? Paddy says
1,000%
get knocked out. So
1,000%. Michael Chandler can knock out anybody. If he lands on you correctly, he can knock out anybody. He's got that power to do it. I'm actually worried for Paddy the Baddy in this fight, to be honest for you. I'm a bit scared for him. I was like, yeah, because if he gets touched from Michael Chandler, we could see him, we could see another freakish knockout here. But Paddy Pimblett can fight, no, bro. This guy can fight. As much as I don't grant his buzz, he's a very competent fighter. He's skillful. He's got a good, well-rounded game. Not the best knockout power, but a good, well-rounded game. He's a bit chinny. When he strikes, his head does stay a little bit too high for me, for my liking. And that's why I'm a bit scared for him in this fight. But I think if he keeps his chin down and utilizes tips and can utilize the long-range weapons, he can definitely slow Michael Chandler down and get him out of there in the third round. Tough thing to do, though.
Yeah, this is of course a 5-round fight. Babu, what are your thoughts here, bro?
Massive step up for Paddy the Baddy. I don't think he's had the warm up yet to like somebody like Michael Chandler, because like I know he's ranked 12th, but he's not like really 12th. Like he's just there, like a placeholder. Like he's still like a top, like he's outside the top 15, I would say, like in terms of skills and opponents. Like he hasn't fought like anybody that's really like a significant fighter that you've seen. Like, I mean, besides Tony Ferguson, but back end of Tony Ferguson, so like hard to say. So he hasn't like really fought anybody that's like really pushed him to the limit, and he had a bit of trouble with I think it was Gordon, and Gordon's
lost
also
the
not
fight,
Gordon's also not like great, so like you have to look at it and you be like, oh, that's a bit tough. Whereas on the other hand, Michael Chandler's just been fighting basically the who's who since stepping in
Yeah.
there, and his record might be 2-4, but the 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 fighters that he's fighting against is like cream of the crop. Charles Oliveira, basically in his prime. Um, like I know he beat Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker went on a run after that. Justin Gaethje being a monster. Dustin Poirier being a monster. So like you have to look at that and be like, maybe Paddy just bit off a bit more than he can chew, because even though Chandler is a stand-up fighter in the UFC, he does have wrestling to him. So it's going to be hard to like just wrestle him. And I think Chandler has the power advantage because he looks like a fucking miniature version of Hulk. And then Paddy, like he cuts so much weight, and I just don't know how he does all of that. And then with that weight cut, like a lot of people say, when you cut so much weight, it's easier to switch your lights off. And like BG said, Michael Chandler has the power to give anybody trouble. Drop Justin Gaethje, drop Charles Oliveira. Yes, he ended up losing those fights, but that first round, he just goes balls to the wall and he shows you power that you just haven't seen before. So it's gonna be a scary one for Paddy the Baddy. I am like kind of a fan of him, but yeah, I just think like this fight is not best suited for him. I think he bit off a bit more than he can chew. I think he needed like somebody in top 10 and then climb into that top 5. Like easy way into it. You can't just jump into top 5 and then think like, I'm good enough, because like the jump is massive, bro. The skill level is way different.
Chandler's ranked number 7.
Yeah, but now after like people won, like Hooker won, Max Holloway won since then, so they moved up, so he moved down. But at the time, since his last fight, he was top 5, and then he just slot down now. So, and like as much as we want to say like China's not really top 5, when you look at the rankings of that division, you can see like he is kind of a top 5 because he does have the skill set like the top 5 guys. He's not one dimensional really, because he can wrestle a bit, and we do know that he was a former champion in Bellator, where a lot of UFC guys were in that division. So you know.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the lightweight top 10 or even top 15 is just probably one of the hardest divisions you're going to fight in to this day right now. It's by far the most competitive division you're going to compete in. So I think for Baddy the Baddy, anyone in that top 15, and he's amongst the top 15, any one of them is going to be a tough fight to fight. You know what I mean? The only thing I'll count against Chandler would be he's 39 years old. And we've seen in the previous fights that he doesn't have the gas tank going into that 4th and 5th round. He does take a break because his style doesn't allow him to actually be a little bit more conservative with the energy. His style does make him explode a lot, which means he's going to lose a lot of energy. And so I think if Paddy's smart, if his coaches are smart, there's a lot to pick up here where you can actually exploit Volkanovski. You can exploit Michael Chandler's game, especially with the calf kick. Justin Gaethje showed that when he fought Justin Gaethje. He would kick his calves out. You make him reckless. You make him more susceptible to get tagged. So Paddy's got the range here.
Paddy don't have the same kick, PG. Paddy don't have the same kick like to affect that calf as like that. And I don't think like Paddy has the same style that Gaethje would have, because
no, he don't have the
like
same
you're saying, the gas tank isn't there, but like Chandler takes like round 3 off, bro. Round 1 and 2, he's all balls to the wall. He takes round 3 off. Round 4, half of it he'll take off. And then, like, still in that round 5 against Charles Oliveira, he still had the conditioning to pick Charles Oliveira up while he was on his back. And even though that was just like a crowd move, that still shows that you carry a lot of strength and like energy to do some mad cut like that. So I just don't think Paddy's gonna have it here.
Woo!
Yeah, I mean,
Let's go.
there's a definite obvious path to victory for him in terms of getting the sub. But BG, let me ask you, in terms of the bookmakers, who would you say opens as the favorite here?
I'm gonna go. Favorite would be Michael Chandler. Underdog would be Paddy the Baddy.
Oh, yeah.
Yo,
At those numbers, bro.
is Paddy the Baddy the favorite? Oh,
Yeah. So
I
Paddy,
wonder
as you
why.
can see, is the favorite here. And with that in mind, BG, maybe you could just give us some final thoughts, and then we'll keep it moving to the next
Okay.
one.
I'm a bit shocked at that, to be honest with you. Paddy the Baddy also hasn't been as active. He had one fight last year, if I'm not mistaken. Just double check that. Whereas
King
Michael only
Green
fought. Was that his last fight, King Green?
yeah,
Yeah.
So that was 2024, July 28th. And we know that Paddy the Baddy only fights once a year or once every second year. Chandler's been out for 2 years, not because he's injured, because he couldn't get a fight with Conor McGregor. And then
Yeah.
he fought against Charles Oliveira since then. And there was a high competitive fight that he fought against Charles. Okay, he got beaten for 4 rounds, but he stuck it through for 5 rounds. I'm a bit weirded out by that matchmaking numbers, to be honest with you. I wonder what it's based on. Because if you really look at the two athletes, the only thing that could really make me go Chandler's weaker is that he's older. He's 39 years old. That could count against him. But other than that, I don't really see anything else that maybe that goes against Chandler in this fight. I think he should be the favorite there. But anyway, that's what the bookies say. Let's see how that goes.
Drop us a comment, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any thoughts there. And if you are placing any bets, keep a lookout for our parlay picks tomorrow.